Hey everyone, it's Mike. I'm here to do it's a entry, well it's not an entry, it's a response to a thread going around the VC. I think I most recently saw this on Hanna, the Omaha Introvert's channel. She did one recently, and that's the one that sparked me to say, yeah, I should do one of these as well. And it's people talking about records they'd like to see released on vinyl. I think Chris from Rekkid Talk did this one as well. So it's albums you'd like to see released on vinyl, and there's two ways to look at this. Either just things that have never been released on vinyl and you'd like to see on vinyl, or things that are on vinyl but they're so rare or expensive or just ridiculously, whatever, hard to get. Like you'd like to see a repress so that you can get an affordable copy. Things like Mazzy Star's She Hangs Brightly, or something like that. Sunday's Reading, Writing, Arithmetic, one of those kind of albums. But I'm not going to do those. I'm just going to do the ones that haven't been released on vinyl yet, and talk about those ones that I'd like to see released on vinyl. First off, though, before I get to that, I've been listening to this a lot, this new Slow Dive album, Everything is Alive, I believe it's called. Yeah. I've been listening to this album a lot, and over the past couple of weeks, and it's really excellent. And I just wanted to put it out there that I think for me this is an early favorite for being my favorite album of the year. The one song that I really liked right off the bat was this Prayer Remembered, but now I'm really getting into Chained to a Cloud as being another favorite of mine off this. We listened to it together, Courtney and I, last night, and she agrees. It's just such a fantastic record, just beautiful stuff. So anyway, this is my early favorite for album of the year for 2023. If you haven't heard it yet, go give it a listen. There's also new albums coming out from Blonde Redhead, and the first two songs I've heard off that album are so good that could very well end up being a best of 2023 as well. And then there's Emma Anderson from Lush. She's coming out with her first solo album, and I think that's coming out next month. And that could very well be up for grabs for that title as well. I've only heard one song from it so far, and it's okay, but who knows? The rest of the album could be amazing. I shouldn't say it's okay, it's really nice. I just have only heard one song from it, so it's kind of hard to tell. So anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way at first. So my first record I want to talk about, as far as and these are all things that I have on CD, and I just don't have them on vinyl because they don't exist on vinyl. As far as I can tell from Discogs, they don't exist. And the first band, this is, it's Medicine's Her Highness. It's their third studio album, and I will say that that's not really an entry now because they finally released it on vinyl. Medicine has. I ordered this off of Bandcamp. It's a 2-record set. Her Highness is finally available on vinyl, and I love it. Been waiting for that for a long time. So it does happen. Miracles do happen, and sometimes if you wait long enough and you're patient long enough, you will get a vinyl issue of something that you've had. I've had that on CDs since it came out. I don't know, many, many years ago. Saw them in concert on that tour. Fantastic album, one of their best. So anyway, that's kind of not really an example of this anymore, but it was. If I had made this video a few months ago, I wouldn't have had that record, and I'd be bitching about it. This next one, this is Ken Andrews. He is the guitarist, singer for the band Failure, and he has numerous side projects. He has a solo album and a solo live album that you can get, and he's got this other group called Year of the Rabbit. I don't believe that's on vinyl either, But this little project that he did is called On, and this album is called Shifting Skin, and I believe it's him doing all the instruments and writing all the music, singing everything, and it's just awesome. I love this project. It's much more. Failure's kind of like it's an indie. It's an indie rock band, and this is more. It's got more like synthesizers, and it's a little bit more poppy. But I love this project, and I would love to have this on vinyl. It's kind of hard to find too, because when you type in On and you're looking for the band, you're going to come up with all kinds of crazy other things. But if you can find this is on disc. You can order these CDs on Discogs, but no vinyl yet. And this is his first album, Shifting Skin, and this is his second album, Make Believe. So I would love both of these on vinyl. Again, Ken Andrews, On, Make Believe, and Shifting Skin. Excellent. Check them out if you can find it. Check them out, listen to them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I've showed Candy Claws on my last video. They had like a 10-year anniversary re-release of their series and series. I forget the name of the album. It's so complicated. It's a complicated title, but anyway, that's on vinyl. And then there's their middle album, their second album, Hidden Lands. I have that on vinyl. But this is their first. They've got another release that's it's like 2 songs, and each song is like 17 minutes. They take up one of each side, and I've heard that is actually their true first album, but I consider this being their first album. CD only, really hard to find even on CD, but I have it on CD, but it is not available on vinyl. It's on a different record label than the other two. So I would love to have this Candy Claws album on vinyl. It's got some really fantastic songs on it. And I can't read this well enough to read off the song titles that I like. But anyway, Candy Claws. This next one, this is a no-brainer for me. It's one of my favorite bands. Curve. This is their, this is their third album, Come Clean. This is the one tour that I got to see them live on, and it's my favorite album of theirs, and it is not available on vinyl. I believe this is on the Universal Music Group label. And it's different than the Anxious and what is the other, I forget what label, the Doppelganger and Cuckoo are on, but those are both released on vinyl. And they're actually coming out with a reissue of Doppelganger really soon on orange vinyl for Music on Vinyl. So I'm looking forward to grabbing a copy of that as well. But this album here, Come Clean, not available on vinyl at the moment. And that's what it looks like there. Favorite tracks, God, there's all of them. Chinese Burn, Coming Up Roses, Something Familiar, Alligators Getting Up, Dirty High, Killer Baby, Forgotten Sanity, Beyond Reach, Recovery. There's just a ton of great songs. To me, it's like the epitome of the Curve sound. I love it. So I'd like to have that, and then also I'd like to have the album that came out after that called Wild Gift. Just Gift, excuse me, not Wild Gift. That's an X album. This is just called Gift. So Come Clean here and Gift, both fantastic albums. Would love to have these on vinyl someday. So here's to crossing your fingers on that. The next album, or the next band, really, like pretty much their whole discography is now available on vinyl. This is a Swedish band called Komida, or Komida. I don't know how they pronounce it, but this is their first album. What is it called? I can't even remember. Papa Svenska. And it's all the vocals are in Swedish, except for one song, Feeling Fine. That's in English, but the rest of the songs on this are in Swedish, their native tongue. They're from Umeå, Sweden. I love them. They're kind of like a similarity sometimes a little bit to like a Stereolab kind of sound. the vocalist, Lena, she's got a voice that's reminds me a little bit of kind of the range of like Susie Sue. But she doesn't really sound like Susie, but she just has that kind of vocal kind of, I don't know, she's just kind of in the ballpark if I were to make a comparison. Now this album is their second album, and I do have this on vinyl. It's the only one that I've been able to find on vinyl, and it's called The Genius of Kamida. I'll show that in a minute. This is their third album, What Makes It Go. This is my favorite album of theirs, not available on vinyl. Fantastic album. Benario, Curious, Cul-de-sac, Flabbergast, Happy Meant, Our Hospitality, Focus, A Simple Formality. There's just a ton of great songs on this. It's almost a perfect album. I would love to have this on vinyl. Out of all of these, I would love to have this one the most, but it's not available. And then their last album, Coco Mimi Dada. Love this album as well. Really nice, very mature kind of sound for them. Really just a fantastic album as well. Not available on vinyl. I believe these are all on Minty Fresh, but they're just not available on, Minty Fresh hasn't printed those on vinyl. This one is also on Minty Fresh, but it is on vinyl. And I was able to find a nice, beautiful, clean copy of that right here. So I do have that, but I would like the other three albums on vinyl. Would be great. This next one, next band is a band called Scala. These are some members of Seafield that tore off from the band and started their own band, again, called Scala. This album, Beauty Nowhere, and this album, To You and Alpha, especially To You and Alpha is a fantastic album, but this one's really good too. They do a cover of Blondie's Heart of Glass on this. It's kind of an industrial, this is an electronic band, kind of an industrial electronic band, and they do an industrial electronic version of Blondie's Heart of Glass, which is awesome. Anyway, so for those, I have those on vinyl. I have both of those on vinyl. Can't really see. But they have another album, full-length album, called Camouflage Heart. And this one is not available on vinyl as far as I can tell. So I'd like to pick up that one as well so I can have all three of their albums. They also have a four-song EP, and if they could just throw that onto one of these albums, that'd be awesome, because I'd like to have that on vinyl as well. So check them out, Scala. You can stream this, To You and Alpha. You can stream it on Spotify, and it comes with that EP. You can stream that EP as well, but they do not have Beauty Nowhere, and they do not have Camouflage Heart on Spotify. So just one of those bands. Same thing with Curve too. Like these two that you can't get on vinyl, you also can't stream these on Spotify. You can stream the other two, but not these two. So that's kind of frustrating. Or wait, I have it backwards. You can stream these two. You cannot stream the ones that are on vinyl. Those are Doppelganger and Cuckoo. You cannot stream Doppelganger or Cuckoo on Spotify. So that's weird. Let's see, what do I have left? I've talked about this band before. It's a band out of England called the Mummers. It's kind of like really nice, kind of carnival type music. Singer has a beautiful voice. I love them. And I have two versions of the same. This is their first album, and there's two versions of it, and they have slightly different song lists on here. Love them, and these are not available on vinyl. I'd love to have one or both of these on vinyl. That'd be really nice. The Mummers out of England. Check them out. Google them on YouTube. They have some live performances that are really awesome. Next to last one, Sing Sing. This is a band. This is Emma Anderson from Lush and Lisa O'Neill, and they got together with Mark Van Hoen, who's a electronic. I believe Mark Van Hoen at one time he was with Seafield as well. So they all got together and put out these a couple of albums, so side project albums. It's not a solo album, and it's really nice. It doesn't really sound like Lush at all. It's really kind of pop, electronic, just really fun. Lisa sings and Emma plays guitar and whatever other instruments they need her to play. It's on Manifesto Records, not available on vinyl at all. And then this is their first album. This is their second album, Sing Sing and I. Again, more of the same kind of, well, this is actually more guitar oriented, more so than this first one that was electronic, more electronic oriented. There's actually a song on here called Going Out Tonight that sounds a lot like it could be a Lush song. So if you're interested in that for the Lush stuff, then definitely that song sounds like a Lush song. But anyway, both of these albums are available. Yeah, you can stream these on Spotify, but they are not available on vinyl. So I would love to see vinyl pressings of both of these. And again, like I said, Emma is coming out with her first solo album next month. So check that out. It's under Emma Anderson. It's under her own name. It's not a band name. And I believe the album is called Pearlies. So check that out. Anyway. The last one, Throwing Muses. I'm going to take this one out. This is a self-titled Throwing Muses album that they put out much later than their first album was also self-titled, but this is a different one. I believe this is 2003. Beautiful packaging, 4AD Records, the CD. It's really nice packaging, but this album is not. It's the only one I think in their catalog that's not available on vinyl. I'd love to have this. Actually, Tanya Donnelly was gone from the band by this point, but she does perform on this album, and it's got a few really great songs. And I believe this one and Limbo and University are the three Throwing Muses album records that I don't have on vinyl. But this one's not available yet on vinyl, so I can kind of give myself a pass for that. I can excuse myself. So see, it says Throwing Muses, and it's like cut out in like little holes. You can feel it like kind of a reverse braille on this back here. It's really nice. Anyway, would love to have this on vinyl. Throwing Muses self-titled from 2003, 4AD Records. I think that's it. Yeah, check out that new Slow Dive album if you're curious about the band or whatever. Check them out. And I don't work for them or anything. I keep giving them plugs, but I'm just really impressed with that new album. So anyway, hope you all are having a great weekend. My weekend's just starting like everybody else's, and hope it's going to be a good one. Just me and Courtney and the kids just hanging out. And I love you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Love getting comments from y'all. Please comment on anything, whatever. I always answer every single comment that anybody leaves on my videos, and I'll always reach out and comment back. And I really appreciate it, all the feedback and stuff. And let me know what albums you're into or what tours you're gonna go see. Whatever, I love talking music. So thank you guys. Love you. Bye.